All right, good morning, everyone. It was taking just a little bit of time for the recording to start. I want to thank you for joining us for this information session, Your Benefits Connected. My name is Becky McGregor, and I'm your APS Employee Wellness Coordinator. Joining us on this call is our benefits team, starting with our Valerie Atencio, the Senior Director of Employee Benefits, Wellness, and Leaves. We have Rebecca Wheat on the call. Our benefits specialist is going to be presenting today. Debbie Rodriguez, Ann Johnson, Sheila Jaramillo, Samantha Smith, and we are here to present to you your 2023 benefits. What's new, what's changing, what's staying the same. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. And we're just happy to be able to present this for you. Just a couple of reminders. Please keep your phones and computers on mute. Turn off your camera while we're presenting. Put your questions in the chat box. We are going to have time for Q&A at the end, but you can certainly put your questions in the chat box. And if it's something that we can answer for you right away, we're happy to do so. We may pull out some of those questions for the larger group. This is being recorded. We want to remind you of that. It will be placed on the APS Employee Wellness YouTube channel. The goal of this webinar is to give you a general overview of your benefits for 2023 and to let you know about some of the things that are changing and coming. But we do have more specific medical and non-medical plan information sessions coming your way this week with our providers. And if you have more detailed questions, we really encourage you to join us for those sessions as well. And I'm going to just, with that, toss it on over to the lovely Rebecca Wheat. Rebecca? Rebecca, you're on mute. Rebecca, you're on mute.
Thank you. So let's get started with, yes, I'm off mute. Let's get started with what's new and what's changing with our benefits for 2023. Well, the big news is that True Health New Mexico is leaving the New Mexico marketplace. And so not only was that in the news, all APS employees should have received a letter with this information as well as a direct email to your APS email address. So you and your dependents have complete coverage for the rest of the year if you're on True Health. So no worries there. However, you must go through the open switch enrollment process to change your benefit plan if you want to continue to have medical benefits with Albuquerque Public Schools for you and your family for 2023. So what that means is if you do not make a change during open switch enrollment, your medical coverage will end December 31st of 2023. So in 2021, we added Cigna as a medical plan option. So this means APS employees now have the 3 medical options to choose from: Presbyterian Health Plan, which is an EPO plan, Cigna and Blue Cross, which are PPO plans. And we'll explain the difference between the EPO and the PPO in just a few minutes. Employees' benefit premiums, that's the amount that comes out of each paycheck. And those premiums will increase slightly for 2023 for your medical plans. And we'll go over that in just a few minutes. There's also an exciting enhancement for our dental benefit. It's called the Preventive Care Security and will be effective January 1st of 2023. So PCS assures that all members can receive cleanings, diagnostic, preventive dental screenings, regardless of the dental plan that you're on. So for instance, if you and your dependents reach the $1,000 maximum payout and you're on the basic plan, to various dental or orthodontic procedures, you'll still be covered for and be able to receive the preventive cleanings and screenings and diagnostics. For information on more information will be available on the Delta Dental Plan presentation, and they're going to be presenting on Thursday, September 29th at 3:30. And we'll also have this available for replay on the APS Wellness YouTube channel. There are a couple of things changing with your pharmacy plan. There'll be changes in your in some copays and a reduction, once again, in your out-of-pocket maximums. And they will be hosting a more in-depth information session on Wednesday, September 28th at 3:30. And you really want to attend that or watch the replay if you can. Excuse me. So know the lingo. So we're going to be going over what an EPO and PPO plan means. But first, I want to review some common terminology used in the healthcare and the benefits. So when we talk providers, we mean healthcare professionals like doctors, nurses, therapists, mental health counselors. And when we talk about facilities, we're talking about places like hospitals, medical lab, urgent care centers. So in-network, when we're talking about an in-network, we're referring to providers or healthcare facilities that have a contract with the insurance company to provide a negotiated discount for that company or an organization. In this place, it's APS. An out-of-network means that a doctor, healthcare provider, medical group, or facility does not have a contract with your health insurance company. So with a PPO, you do have out-of-network. And if you go to an out-of-network provider or facility, it may not be covered or you will be paying more out of pocket for that service. So what does an EPO and PPO mean? APS offers 3 medical insurance plans and 2 types of plans. An EPO, and that's an exclusive provider organization. That's what EPO means. That's the definition, and that's what EPO means. EPO means that you only have in-network benefits. Any services that you receive must be done by a provider that is contracted with your insurance company. So if you do not confirm that these services that you're receiving are contracted or are from a contracted provider or facility prior to your service, you'll be liable for that payment. Our EPO option is with Presbyterian Health Plan. And this plan has slightly higher premiums with slightly less copays, deductibles, and out-of-pocket maximums. And employees that choose Presbyterian Health Plan will not have out-of-state coverage, with the exception of urgent and emergent services, and copays will still apply. So PPO is a preferred provider organization. And what PPO means that the plan offers in-network and out-of-network benefits. These plans have slightly lower premiums with slightly higher copays, deductibles, and out-of-pocket maximums. So employees who choose these plans will have the option of in-network and out-of-network coverage. However, if you do go to out-of-network, it will be more costly and a higher deductible, which is separate from the in-network deductible. So you'll have 2 deductibles, your in-network and out-of-network, if you choose the PPO plan. With the PPO plan, you do have in-network out-of-state coverage. And this is important to note if you have dependents out of state, if you have kids that are on your plan and they're going to a college out of state. So please keep that in mind when you make your decision on which medical plan you choose. So the important difference between an EPO and a PPO plan is where you can access service. So with a PPO plan, you have the option to go in and out of network. And keep in mind, whether you're on a PPO plan or an EPO plan, urgent and emergent care will always be covered, minus with copays that still apply. So your in-network providers for Blue Cross Blue Shield, the PPO, is Loveless Medical Systems, Loveless Medical Groups, the UNM Hospitals and UNM Medical Group, along with Optum Medical Groups. So Blue Cross Blue Shield is also contracted with providers, across the U.S. and with providers that have their own private practices throughout New Mexico. So, and because Blue Cross Blue Shield is a PPO plan, they do have out-of-network benefits as well. Keep that in mind. So for Presbyterian and Cigna, Presbyterian being our EPO and Cigna being a PPO, in Albuquerque, the Presbyterian Health Plan and Cigna are generally contracted with Presbyterian Health Plan Systems, Presbyterian Medical Group, and Optum Medical Groups. Both are contracted with providers outside of the Albuquerque area and with some providers that have their own practice. Cigna Healthcare also contracts with providers across the U.S. because they have out-of-state coverage, as well as out-of-network coverage. So again, the EPO plan, you need to see a provider that's contracted with Presbyterian Health Plan. With the PPO plan, you have the option of in and out of network. Now that we've talked the difference between EPO and PPO, let's look at some comparisons between the plans for the 2023. They're found on our website at aps.edu on the benefit page. And Becky's going to take us there so we can do a quick walkthrough. So this is our medical plan comparison page on the APS Benefit Wellness page. So as you can, there's some open switch enrollment information. Go ahead and scroll down to the comparison grades. So here's on table 1, it tells you, it shows you the difference between Presbyterian in-network and Blue Cross Blue Shield in-network and out-of-network. And these are copays for your primary, just an example. Presbyterian in-network, EPO, your primary care copay is $20, with Blue Cross and Cigna being in-network at $30, and Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cigna out-of-network, that is subject to your coinsurance and your deductibles. And you'll see the specialist as well. There's some, the specialist visits are, sorry, Becky. The specialist visits, $50 and $60 respectively. So let's take a look at the grid for our deductibles. So for your Presbyterian in-network EPO plan, a single is $500. With Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cigna, $1,000 out of in-network and a $5,000 deductible for out-of-network. And that's what I was discussing earlier, where you have 2 separate deductibles for your PPO plans. Your in-network for single is $1,000, your out-of-network is $5,000. And those plans, those deductibles, they don't mix. So if you see a provider outside of the network, you'll start your $500 deductible. If you go to see a provider in network, you'll start your $1,000 deductible. And they're 2 separate deductibles.
Correction, you'll start your $5,000 deductible.
Okay.
Out of network.
Thank you. This is on the benefit wellness page, the benefits department page, and that's linked for you at the end of this presentation. So, and if we're going to scroll down to see our mental and behavioral health grid. So for behavioral, mental health, and substance abuse, all of these are at no charge on your EPO, Presbyterian in-network, and your Blue Cross Blue Shield Cigna in-network. They are no charge to, you have zero out of pocket for these services. However, if you do see a provider outside of the network for Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Cigna, those services are subject to coinsurance and deductible. And here's a little about the Senate Bill 317. That's some information onto you that's provided for you to understand what this HSB 317 is. So the Express Scripts, the prescription drug coverage, there's some for your co-insurance, if you fill a brand name medication when a generic is available, you'll pay the applicable copay and co-insurance plus the difference between the prescription brand and the generic. They're going to have another, for more in-depth information on the Express Scripts, they'll be having an in-depth session as well. So if you need more information, also you can go to the expressscripts.com/APSNM to get more information on that for you.
We're just showing you some more information you've already had. We're just going to go ahead and take you down to the bottom to show you your medical premium rates. You can access this a couple of different ways. Just for your information, it is up on the left side menu as well, but we also put this link down below. And so Rebecca can just talk to you more about some of your medical premium rate information.
Okay, so first we want to go over the medical premium rate, the definitions of what each coverage means. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Single means the employee only. However, it gets a little more complicated for some reason. Double equals employee plus one. And it could be your employee plus your spouse or employee plus a child. Family is employee plus two or more. So it could be the employee and 2 children. It could be the employee and 10 children. It's considered, if it's employee plus 2 equals family coverage. That's for your medical and your vision plans. For the definition for your dental plans is a little bit different. Single is employee only, employee plus spouse. You have employee plus children, and your family coverage is employee plus spouse and child or children. So that's the important part about the definitions of the plans. So the difference here is in the salary amounts, the salary bands, the amounts have changed. And this was done so employees could take home more of their pay after their salary increases and the premium changes. So you'll see the amounts have slightly increased from last year. So just a quick example for the top tier, Presbyterian in 2022, employee only was $114.26. And for 2023, it's $120.88. So that's a difference of $6.62. That's the amount of your increase for 2023. So Becky?
And that's for that salary band, right? Because we're looking at the top 55
Sure.
or more. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's different under each category and bands.
That's correct. So if you want to scroll down, and Becky's going to give you some more information on the, we're going to go to the medical, the non-medical. So your premiums will be deducted twice a month. And these premium rates are per paycheck that you're seeing here on these tables. So for the non-medical, again, the bands have changed. The amounts, and these are your new premiums for 2023. These premiums have not changed. Your dental or your vision premiums stayed the same for 2023 as they were in 2022. So for more information regarding the dependent life insurance premiums, there is a, Becky, you want to show them where they can review that premium sheet and how to calculate the rates? Excuse me. So this is where if you decide to enroll your dependent child during open switch enrollment, this is where you can go to find the premiums for that. You're only eligible to enroll your dependent child during open switch enrollment if you yourself currently have additional life insurance. open enrollment is not additional life insurance is not available for employees or their spouses during open enrollment. Only the dependent children, provided you, the employee, has life insurance prior to open enrollment.
And we're going to switch back on slides here, but I just wanted to point out on these pages that we have for you under 2023 benefit plan comparison rates, on the left side is where you can find all the individual categories, medical plan comparisons, premium rates, dependent life worksheet, food services, non-medical premium rates for food services here. So this is where you can find all of these on the left side of the page as well. I'm just going to take 1 second to get us back. And it'll just take me 1 second. There you go.
All right, so what stays the same? So we know that premium increases are a challenge. So we do want to highlight some of the mental health benefits that were put in place for 2022 and will continue for 2023. All mental health and behavioral health in-network services, again, are free for APS employees and their covered dependents. So this includes prescription medication for treatment and rehabilitation, prevention, and identification for all mental health, mental illness, and substance abuse disorders. Again, these will not have any copays or subject to deductibles or coinsurance for 2023. To confirm, to remind you, this is for in-network benefits only. You need to see providers in the network in order to get this services at zero cost to you. So the dental and the vision premiums will remain the same for 2023. Again, during open enrollment, APS will not be accepting applications for additional life for you or your spouse during long-term disability, during open enrollment. So you may apply at any time during the year, except the month of October, and it is subject to evidence of insurability if you do not already have it. The only exception for this right now is if you are enrolling your child and you currently have additional life. So the ASI Flex, remember that you must re-enroll in the ASI Flex every year. And open enrollment is the only time that you can enroll in the ASI Flex. So the ASI Flex is a pre-tax deduction that goes into a separate account for you to save on medical expenses and medical and healthcare expenses. I apologize. Like for co-pays and other out-of-pocket. You can also elect dependent care FSA to pay for qualified child care expenses. And we'll have an information session on the flexible spending account on Friday, September 30th at 3:30 p.m. Again, it'll be recorded and available for playback on the APS Employee Wellness channel. We do want to remind you about the voluntary retirement savings plans, and there's going to be a financial wellness session on these plans at the Employee Wellness Fair next week on Thursday, October 6th. And Becky will tell you a little bit more about that on the next slide. You may enroll in these voluntary plans at any time during the year. So open switch enrollment, again, will be done completely through online Monocular. You'll be able to make your benefit elections anytime during the open enrollment period, which is October 5th through October 19th. And with your changes going into effect January 1st of 2023. So when the Monocular Workspace system is available for your enrollment and changes, you're going to receive an email in your APS email box welcoming you to the enrollment process and giving you directions and instructions on that. And we will also have a webinar on how to do the online enrollment. That's going to be next Tuesday, October 4th at 3:30 p.m. And that's going to be showing you how to complete the enrollment form. It will be recorded so you can review it on the APS Employee Wellness YouTube channel if you missed that.
Great. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And before we go into some closing reminders, we do have a couple of questions. I wanted to make sure we got to those. And I think Anne did answer that question, but I think it's a great question. So I just want to pull that out. Lizeth asked for in-network. Does that mean for all of New Mexico area or just the Albuquerque area? And so Presbyterian Health Plan Network includes entire state of New Mexico. So I guess, Lizeth, if you wanted to unmute, did we answer your question correctly? And are you referring to a specific plan?
Yeah, I think you answered my question.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure, if I'm down in Las Cruces, I'm able to use my plan.
Yeah, and if it's Presbyterian, yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody have another question they'd like to ask? I did put in the chat box the links to the comparison guides as well as the 2023 medical premium rates. And you can find all of this information on aps.edu/human-resources/benefits, or just get onto aps.edu and scroll down and you'll see employee benefits and wellness, and you'll be able to find it there as well. Does anybody have any other questions? We're here for you. And if not, I'm going to go into the closing reminders. And when I stop recording, if anybody needs to stay on and ask us more questions, we're happy to do that. So, closing reminders. We have information sessions all this week with Blue Cross Blue Shield, Presbyterian, and Cigna, so you can hear the differences in the plans and the similarities and what might work best for your families. We have Delta Dental, Davis Vision, and the ASI Flex presentations, as well as Express Scripts, which is our pharmacy benefits provider. Those are all this week, and we are recording them. Again, open enrollment will be online through Binocular. I think everyone is familiar with that. It is the same place where you go for job postings, job listings, and when you sign your contracts every year. We're going to walk you through that online process, though, so don't you worry. Tuesday, October 4th at 3:30, you can join us. We're going to walk you right through it. So please join us for that if you have any questions. At the APS Employee Wellness Fair, Thursday, October 6th, 7:30 to 3:30, we have just a host of things available to you. If you feel like you need more assistance with online enrollment, we will be there to help you. All of our medical and non-medical vendors will also be there to answer your questions. So please come if you feel like you need to get into more detail with them. They're going to be there to answer your questions and also just have a lot of interactive other types of activities going on. We have vision screens. We're going to have biometric screens. We have blood pressure checks. We have a blood donor drive. So we have a CPR certification. We have all kinds of really cool things going on at the Wellness Fair next week. So we encourage you to join us and pop in for that. Please enter your name in the chat box because we are doing a raffle. For those who attend, we're going to do a raffle for a prize, and I will be contacting you if you are a winner. And with that, I just want to let you know how you can connect with APS Benefits and Wellness. This is your Benefits Connected because we do believe that the more you know about all your resources, the better able you are to navigate the healthcare system and navigate your own health and wellness in a holistic way. So please stay connected with us through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And I don't advocate social media except for you when you do it with us. And in the perspective, every other week, we are very consistent about posting things for you in the perspective. So stay connected to the APS perspective. We also have the Employee Wellness Google Event Calendar. So if you accessed this meet, you already know what that is because that's where all of this information is. And we continue to keep that updated through the year for you. And of course, at aps.edu/wellness, we have information for you on your benefits and your wellness. We want to thank you for joining us for this session today. If you have any questions, again, you can put it in the chat or you can email us at employee.benefits@aps.edu. And we just really wish you the very best through this process, and we're here to help you engage in it any way that we can. I am going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to stop recording. and we can continue if anyone has anything else they'd like to say. Again, thank you all and have a wonderful day.